I want to be a chef because my grandma, like when I was younger, I used to always be with her. And like every time I'm with her, she teach me how to cook, like certain lessons we'll do each day.
Be a zoologist.
I'm trying to be a special effects artist.
I want to be a boxer.
I just want to graduate college and maybe be a lawyer.
Go to Juilliard. It's like a dance college up in New York.
Probably a dentist, maybe a pharmacist, and so I can just help other people out.
I just want to go into music and hip-hop mainly.
I want to graduate high school with a 3.3 GPA and go to college, graduate college, and then work on body and repair, work on cars, and be a mechanical engineer.
Well, I know I can do the work because most of the work they give us is easy, but like it's different because in sports, I like sports and stuff. I mean, like I like school too, but it's kind of like it's not as fun as sports. So like I feel like it's kind of boring. So it's not really. I don't really try my hardest because I'm not really that interested in what I'm doing.
My grades was slipping, all of that, and I just didn't get along with the teachers at first, but now it's at the end of the year, so kind of growing a relationship with them a little bit.
Do you think that it was the teacher's problem for how your grades were reflecting?
No, not really. It was mostly me for not turning in my work. But now, since it's the last quarter, and I'm trying to get my grades up so I can at least make my mom happy.
So I haven't been trying. I know I can do better.
Do you try your best?
Haven't been trying my best lately, but I'm about to try to get my grades up.
Why are you starting now?
Because more people are getting on me about my grades.
More people? But why didn't you just start in the first quarter?
I did do good in the first quarter. I just couldn't keep it up.
What was the distractions?
Settling in the school.
Do you think you can man up and get out of the distractions?
Yes.
What will it take for you to get rid of those distractions and start focusing?
Thinking about my goals in life, what I want to be when I grow up.
I'm just trying to focus more.
What
And
distraction?
distractions, talking, beatboxing mainly, making sounds, and not being prepared for the class.
Do you think that can change?
Yeah, if I focus on it.
I'll probably clown, talk about people or stuff like that.
So, you think that's the right thing to do in school?
No, but the work they give us is not fun, so I'd rather do that than do my work.
I'd rather do that than do your work. But do you know this is your life?
Yeah, and now as I know and seeing my grade that I gotta change up and do the right thing.
You work your hardest?
Well, I'm not saying I work my hardest now, but I'm going to.
Going to start and win?
This quarter, and it's looking good now.
Why do you wait this long?
Because I'm just now really seeing and feeling the consequences for me acting up.
I'm smart enough to do it. It's just I don't put my mind to it because I'm too busy being a class clown.
So how do you feel that being a class clown will benefit you?
Not good, knowing if I want to play basketball, moving on to the next level, coach is going to be looking at me like, oh, no, I don't want him playing on my team. He won't be a class clown.
When I was like in elementary and I was starting off middle school, I went to Catholic schools. I think fourth grade all the way to sixth. And when I was there, it was basically like, okay, I don't got to get good grades. Everything's handed to me. I mean, I don't really got to work hard. But then always getting lectures from your mom, like, okay, well, keep messing up. You already gonna know what's happened. Something's gonna hit you, and then it's gonna be too late. And hearing that from Mr. Curtis now, it's like, man, I really gotta start being on track. And hearing it from my brother, someone who's already in high school, and my brother always says, like, all right, if you don't get it now, everybody else, they're gonna be like this. They're gonna keep going up, and you're just gonna be back there at the bottom. Everybody else is gonna leave you, and you're gonna be in everybody else's tracks. So I mean, I'm just trying to just keep like rising and going up and progressing over the years.
Like this quarter, like my mom, I haven't been giving my mom my grade card, and she found my third grade card, my third estimate grade card, and like I saw how much it hurt her. Now I'm trying to work harder to make her happy this quarter.
Mr. Curtis, for real, like, he motivated me like my parents didn't support, for real. Like, they tell you get it up, but they don't like keep on you about it. They tell you like when grade card come out, that's when they really try to tell you.
Miss Wicker and Mr. Curtis.
The CTAG teachers, Mr. Miles and Mr. Curtis, and also Miss Miller.
Mr. Curtis, Mr. Miles, and Miss Wicker.
Well, the teacher is named Mrs. Butler, and she picks me up when I believe I'm not doing good, and if I am doing good, she tells me that I'm doing good or rewards me for doing good.
And how does that make you feel?
Like I can do it and I can make it.
This guy teacher named Mr. Tarbett, he was a drama teacher.
Mrs. Butler, Miss Wicker, well, Mrs. Miller, Mr. Clark, Mr. Richards, and Mr. Curtis and Mr. Miles. Like those are the people right now that every day when I do something wrong, they let me know. I mean, like Miss Wicker just told me, well, Mrs. Miller just told me today, like, hey, Christian, I see some big improvements, and it's only been maybe 4 days, maybe 3 days, like counting last week too, that all right, I've literally been like changing my behavior and actually doing like, you know, just actually working hard. So I mean like for her to come up today and say that in like 3 days, maybe 4 days of school that I've actually been working, I mean, that's impressive, and I'm glad she see the differences and see me trying to change, because it's going to help me, because I'm going to remember what she said.
Mr. Curtis is the CTAG teacher, and he helps the whole class, but sometimes I go to his room and talk about what's going on with me.
Miss Wicker says I can do better because she said I can do the work, but I just don't turn it in. And she encouraged me to turn my work in. And Mr. Curtis helps me because he talks about how I was, how I can change my my life down here.
Coach Schrader. I look up to Coach Schrader. And, well, he's not my teacher or nothing, but, I mean, he was a good coach, a good role model.
My mom and dad, they real tight on me about my grades and stuff. Like, every other day or so, my mom check my grades, and if they're not what they supposed to be, like, she always get on me, like, you know you can be better than this and stuff, and my dad do the same.
Because Miss Wicker, she, like, tightened up on me because at the beginning of the year, I just was basically trying to do whatever I wanted, and then in the middle of the year, she just tightened up and made me realize that I can't do what I want my whole life. I gotta go with organization and discipline. And Mr. Curtis and Mr. Miles, they always push me, like told me work hard, be the best I can be.
My mom is on me more than my dad. Like my mom, she'll sit there and she'll look up my grades and everything. And if my grades not on point or something, or she see I have a missing assignment, she won't let me do what I want to do until it's done and it's a decent grade.
Miss Miller, she tries, like ever since the beginning of the year, she been telling me like, you way smarter than this, because my grades wasn't always that good in her class. And she'd just tell me like, you way smarter than this, Xavier, you just need to do better and stuff. And like, you can get the grade, you just got to put effort forth in it.
Miss Butler, because I'm noticing that like she's not just being mean, she's being hard to help us. Like most teachers, they just come to their job to get paid. They don't really like try to help us. And I like how she hard on me to try to help me and try to make me better in life.
Her name was Miss Burris. I had her in the 3rd grade. She sat there and she helped me out and did all this stuff with me, and she'll sit there like she was just there for me.
CTAG is like an uplifting for me, like to reach my goal, because like Mr. Emmanuel, all he does is like preach like good stuff into me to instilling like my goal to reach it.
Well, I've been in CTAG since 6th grade, and I feel like motivated by it because in the 6th grade, I was always asking, could I be in CTAG? And then I thought when I went in there, it was just gonna be all fun and games and playful. But then, like, it taught me maturity, like how to be mature and taking steps to climb the ladder to become a man.
Before CTAG, I didn't really have anyone to talk to, but now I have a class that'll help me with, like, getting my grades up and giving me motivation.
I've been in CTAG for about 2 years, and they've been just teaching me how to be mature and how to be on the right path to being a man when I grow older.
My relationship with Mr. Miles and Mr. Emmanuel, that we all, like, I can tell them stuff that I know I can't tell my teachers, because they're going to sit there and try to look at me differently.
Keep my work up and have self-discipline and not depending on anybody to help me reach my goal, but I can reach for myself.
I'm taking some of the responsibility for myself for not like following the directions, because can nobody make me act the way I act but me.
And I want to be the best student. And sometimes I might not act like the best student, but I always have the mentality like, all right, this is what I got to do. Instead of getting a 3.5 this quarter, let's go for a 3.8. And in my freshman year, let's go ahead and try to get a 4.0 right off the bat.